All right. Gyokeres Arsenal transfer in danger. Guys, it's in danger because what has obviously sparked it off has gone ahead obviously face what we call a very bad setback. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun. Kalvin Phillips to Luton to Ipswich Town, and then Tonali has gone ahead to be given green light, obviously coming through and obviously putting a shift into this season, and the date of his return is going to be named. I'm going to be revealing to you which games he's really going to be missing out as a player of Newcastle, but it's good to see it that he's really back and they're going to be obviously forming their dominable force with the two Brazilians, Joe Wellington and Bruno Gyokeres. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets. Mono Gadgets are dealers in phones. They're dealers in laptops, brand new laptops and phones. Even if you want used phones and laptops from UK, they can bring them, or they can bring them to your doorstep, and they can obviously offer you the best that you deserve. And I was like, reading some comments and people were asking me, Rokani, can Mono Gadgets obviously deliver these at home? I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? They can do that, and you just call them on +256 70 99 88 665, or else do the needful and obviously WhatsApp them on the same number, or else you can find them on TikTok, Mono Gadgets 256. That's the place to be, and you obviously enjoy them to the fullest. That is Mono Gadgets, and the other ones that have wanted obviously give us the best that we deserve in here as a channel, and they're really trying to obviously take us to the next levels that we deserve to be at, so don't look any further than Mono Gadgets if at all you feel like you want to get in these gadgets, right? And for now, let's obviously get into these stories, and we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, we thank Allah for the gift of life. Tomorrow is a Jumakari. Muslims, you can as well flock your mosques and see how things really pan out down there. Now, today, we first got a story that the side of Bournemouth had gone ahead to reduce the list to 2. And this is Simon Collins, the Arsenal correspondent for the Evening News, or Evening Standard. And they told us that it is understood that Bournemouth have narrowed their search for a Dominic Solanke replacement down to 2 main targets. That is Arsenal's Edin Ketia and Porto's Evan Lisson. You understand? And we all know to it that the deal of Gyokeres to come in through at the club of Arsenal depends on to selling Edin Ketia. And that deal had narrowed to 2. Evan Lisson and Edin Ketia, but it always looked that the deal of Evan Lisson had gone ahead obviously age that of Arsenal that of Edin Ketia, because they had gone ahead to put in the first bid and it was rejected by the club of FC Porto, and we were like, Evan Lisson was also linked to Arsenal, and I told you that maybe Arsenal really wants to slow down this deal, but finally, Evan Lisson has found himself really leaving the side of FC Porto. He has not joined Arsenal. He has gone ahead obviously join a side known as Bournemouth, and this is what we call a huge blow for the deal of Gyokeres, because the deal of Gyokeres to Arsenal depends on to Edin Ketia leaving. If Edin Ketia cannot be sold, then Arsenal won't be going in for another striker. And Fabrizio Romano told us today, an exclusive, that Bournemouth agreed deal to sign Brazilian striker Evan Lisson from FC Porto. Here we go. Deal in place for package worth 47 million euros for Brazilian forward to be the replacement for Solanke. Porto also has a 10% sell-on clause. Medical tests booked. Evan Lisson travels soon to come to UK to undergo his medical, and the rest is really gonna be history. You get? Now, that is what we are getting in through from the man himself, known as Fabrizio Romano, and that shows you that the deal of Gyokeres to Arsenal is really dragging on, and it might really take a lot of time to obviously accomplish it, because if this is what we are hearing from the sources that are really doing business like this, I tell you, it's not gonna be an easy one, right? It's not gonna be an easy one. You know, it's not gonna be an easy one as anticipated, because Arsenal need that money to obviously get in a striker, and it looks like they can only get in a striker for them moving Edin Ketia, because they're not willing to bring in another striker to obviously have close to 4 or 5 people competing for that number 9 position. Because if you really bring in Gyokeres without moving on the guy called without moving on Edin Ketia, you'll obviously have Jesus, you'll obviously have Kai Havertz, Gyokeres, Trossard and Edin Ketia. Close to 5 players competing for that position, and I don't think there is a manager who wants to be having a headache of having all those kind of players into the mix. So as it stands, Gyokeres' deal is in danger, and Arsenal have to obviously find something different to obviously offer to this guy, if at all they are to obviously sign him, because what has gonna have to be said as an ultimatum has failed to obviously be made, because Bournemouth has pulled out of the Edin Ketia deal, and they're like, we're not obviously going to sign a player because we've gonna have to spend 47 million euros on a player that that we thought, or that we think, is the right replacement of Dominic Solanke. And it shows you that they really backed off from the deal of Edin Ketia, and out of the two they chose Evanilson, because Edin Ketia was going in for 12 million euros less than Evanilson, and they decided to go in for Evanilson, meaning that maybe they've gonna have to see a different kind of player in there. And I believe that Mikel Arteta would have gonna tell to his friend, the manager of Bournemouth, you know, they are friends, they come from the same side of Spain, I think it's Marbella, and he was like, please take a striker, and he was like, no, I'm not taking him. I believe we are having a different option that is really better, that can obviously serve a better purpose than you guys. And that is how the deal of Gyokeres to Arsenal is really stalling, and it will only happen if at all Arsenal sell Edin Ketia. If Edin Ketia is not moved by the club of Arsenal, don't anticipate anything like a movement for Gyokeres. So that's how the deal of Gyokeres is in danger. But I know that there are very many other Premier League teams that will have a lot of interest in Edin Ketia. Even if it's not the Premier League, teams like in other leagues might obviously come in through to show interest. But the big question is, are they willing to play? Sorry, are they willing to offer the 35 million euro ask that Arsenal has gonna hit obviously put onto the head of Edin Ketia? That is the most important bit of it all, and that's what you're waiting in for in here onto our channel. That is the Rokani Media Football. So Gyokeres is obviously gonna be playing his second game for Sporting Lisbon this week. Remember, he scored in the first game they played against Rio Ave. He scored and created an assist, sending a message to Arsenal that please, you have to obviously come and really get me, because I'm on fire and I'm ready to obviously take it to the next level where you guys believe it's supposed to be at. So Edin Ketia is also wanting to go out of Arsenal because he wants to obviously get enough playing time, and he knows to it that with Kai Havertz joining Gabriel Jesus to compete for that number 9 position, his chances to play are really going to be limited, you know, and he's really going to hate limited playing time at the club of Arsenal, and there is no assurance that he'll find himself into that team of Arsenal anytime soon. So that's why he's also pushing to leave the club of Arsenal. And remember, he had gone ahead to agree personal terms with the side of Marseille, but when Marseille went ahead to obviously make a bid of 20 to 25 million euros and Arsenal turned it down, they went in for Wahi, and Wahi has gone ahead to be unveiled as a player of Marseille and is going to be playing for them in the coming games of the League One and the other games they're going to be competing in this season. So that's exactly how things are really happening, and they're happening thick and fast. And if at all you don't tighten your seatbelt, things might obviously go past your reach. That's what we're getting in through from the deal of Edin Ketia. But optimism is still there that this player will obviously come in through and make a decision to obviously join the club that will see Arsenal get money to obviously get the deal of Gyokeres. That's why never say never in this summer transfer window. Anything can happen, as Napoli is also struggling to obviously get in a replacement for a replacement for Victor Osimhen, because Victor Osimhen is 100% wanting to leave. You never know what's really going to be happening into the mix. So that's how the deal of Gyokeres to Arsenal is really in danger, and we're here to wait and see how Arsenal is really going to spend their monies in there for you to obviously get in a striker. And we still have some close to 3 weeks left to obviously see to it that everything really goes on as to plan. Now, Kalvin Phillips is another one that is going to obviously find himself get another loan, and Fabrizio Romano sounded it. Kalvin Phillips to Ipswich Town. Here we go, deal sealed between clubs as Phillips set for medical tests. Loan move from Manchester City does not include a buy option clause per initial agreement. Phillips ready to sign later today if all goes to plan. So Man City have gone ahead obviously get the guy out of their reach, and not him is willing to obviously offer them the amount of money they want, and Man City is wanting the exact amount of money they bought him from Leeds, £55 million. But when you look at his previous 3 seasons, he has not gone ahead to be at par. I think his previous 2 seasons, because they signed him in the summer of 2022. Now, 2022, 2023 one season, 2023-24 he was loaned for 6 months to West Ham, and Kalvin Phillips never lived up to the expectations of West Ham. That's why even the new manager Leptogui is not interested in obviously bringing him back, yet he's an elite player, but he has gone ahead to be given a lifeline at Ipswich Town to obviously see to it that he does the needful. Ipswich are a newly promoted side to the Premier League, and it's managed by the former United assistant manager Kieran McKenna, and you all know that was linked to Manchester United, Brighton, and very many other teams like Chelsea, but he decided to stay there. And I believe he's really going to improve him because he plays what we call a free-flowing football, and he might benefit from him. And by the way, even Ipswich need experience of a player like him, because when he was at Leeds, he was really a very good player, and he has time to really revive his career. And Fabrizio added that Kalvin Phillips has just completed tests at Ipswich. Time for media staff now and then. Loan move from Man City expected to be announced this weekend. So obviously this weekend is expected to be leaving the side of Ipswich, right? Sorry, the side of Man City. And if at all he's to take part into the first game of Ipswich that they're going to be playing, you know, he has, I think they're playing Liverpool. He has to obviously be registered by tomorrow midday. That is it. And having gone ahead, obviously done everything, completed his medical, now the contract is going to be signed, and I think Kieran McKenna wants him to obviously feature in that game as they're taking on the side of Liverpool into the mix. So let's wait and see how that pans out, but it's really a very huge move for him to obviously get a lifeline in there for you. Newcastle fans, where are you at? You know, do you remember when you guys started the season, when you're having Tonali, Joelinton, and Bruno Gyokeres in that midfield? How you people were really very, very hard to break, you know? And you people had an attacking force that was really very formidable. You know, they are fluid through the midfield, and they had gone ahead, obviously, complement one another very well. And now, big news is here. As you guys waited for the debt to obviously sanction this guy back, finally, it has gone ahead to be cleared that Newcastle confirmed that Sandro Tonali has been cleared to play from August 28th. Remember, today is 15th, and August 28th is obviously 2 weeks from now. And it shows you that they are really having a very huge boost into that. It affected them last season a lot because they had gone ahead, obviously, spend 70 million euros on a midfielder. Dan Ashworth had gone ahead, obviously, get that deal done and dusted. Now he's working with Manchester United as their sporting director, and he had gone ahead to obviously do a very good work or job into the mix. So as things stand, he's really going to be missing the following games. On the 17th of August, he's going to be missing out on a game as they play against Southampton. That is it. Then he's going to be missing out on a game of Bournemouth on the 25th of Sunday. That is it. Then he's going to be missing out onto the game of Nottingham on the 27th of August as they play into the second round of the EFL Cup. That is it. Then Newcastle will play Tottenham Hotspur on the 1st of September, and that will be his return game after a very long while without kicking a ball. So Sandro Tonali is back, And now their midfield trio is really going to be on fire. Bruno Guimaraes. Then the other player is called Joelinton. You know, they're really going to be doing the need. And the big question is, after the returning of Sandro Tonali, can it spark the transfer of Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle to either Arsenal or Man City? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Gyokeres transfer in danger. What do you make about Kalvin Phillips to Ipswich Town? And lastly, Sandro Tonali finally green-lighted to obviously return into playing for Newcastle after serving a ban of 10 months. Now, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in phones and laptops. You can as well contact them on +256 70 99 88 665. WhatsApp them, call them, and ask them about gadgets, you know. Then you can as well follow them on Twitter at Mono Gadgets. But they also have used phones and used laptops from the United Kingdom. We sign out for now. See you later. And this is Rokani David. And this is our third video of the day. We are really going to be having a very huge show today. 2 more videos are really coming. It's going to be a marathon, right? 5 more. Arsenal hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers match reaction is coming next.